Okay, I am making a little mandrel to wind the springs. I don't know how well this camera is going to focus on that, but that's the mandrel. It's got I single pointed basically a 16 pitch groove in it, and this is going to be the tailstock end. And I want to start from the tailstock end and feed toward the chuck. That way I don't have to run the spindle backwards. I can run it forwards. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole through this out on the end for an anchor point. Stick my wire through there, and that way it'll grab the wire and wrap it up. So I need to drill a small hole through there. I might set the other camera up a little closer. I'm going to set the other camera up a little closer, just in case this footage isn't, that I'm not happy with that. I'm putting it in the case. So the sound, when I put it in this case, the sound is not so good. But I can get right up to, we'll get it started here. I just dumped the card, so I should have plenty of room. Now, I'm going to put this on here, and I have to clamp it somehow. I'm just thinking maybe I can do that, just to pinch it. And then maybe you can pull this out, maybe. It didn't pinch down on that too tight. I want to be able to drill through, and I'm just going to eyeball the center. I could take the time and get it and indicate that in, but this isn't anything that's real critical. But I do want to make it small, a small hole. I don't want it very big, because otherwise it'll weaken it so much that if I pull on it while I'm winding the spring, I'll bend the mandrel. So you'll get this kind of centered, and we want a few wraps before we enter the grooves, right about there. That's where I'm going to go. Actually, could have went a little. Ooh, oh darn it! Keep doing that, and then I end up losing my little center drills. So, where did that one go? First it's the camera pooping out on me, and then I'm throwing stuff away. I heard it hit the way cover here. It should have funneled it down to one side here, but I don't see it. Huh. Well, darn it. Anyway, that was one of my. Well, that was the one that actually had ground on the end of it for, on one end for removing broken center. But I do not see it. I couldn't have went that far. I did. Ah, here it is. You'll never believe where I found it. Under my foot. I moved my foot and there it was. But yeah, this is the one that I ground away. So if I ever break a small one like that, I've got a tool to tree pan it, the tip right out. It's the easiest way to remove a center drill. So A broken center drill, I should say. Alright, now I want to drill a small hole in there. The wire that I'm going to be using is, I think 10 and, yeah, this is 11 right here. So, I drill it 40 thou. That's bigger than all the wires that I'll ever use on this, which is fine. Should get my sensitive drill out. Banged it with my elbow. Put that drill away. And we can take this out of there. So now I have a starting point. So now let's go over to the lathe. I'll take this camera first. Put that on the tailstock. Down. And we'll set you over here too. I don't know which video or which camera footage I'll use, but so now we're going to take the side that has a hole toward the tailstock. We're just going to mount that in here. And lock that down, and then we're going to slide this tailstock up, lock it, and bring it in. I don't want to, otherwise if pulling I'll just bend that mandrel right away. Because you got to pull and keep her snug when you're doing this. All right. I had a piece of wire that I was thinking, oh here it is, thinking around with already, and I got it set. I want to set it as low as possible, so that's 70 RPM, so I'm going to go to V1. V1, as in bingo. Alright, so now you can just take and bend this around a little bit. And I need to get pliers to hang on that wire. I'm not going to hang on to it with just my fingers, just in case something would happen. Alright, so now I want to hold that tight. I should have had this all set up and ready to go. Because I want to flame it. I want to hit it with the flame, with a torch, before I take it off of there. So I'm going to take it. See, if I'd have been smart, I'd have had the torch sitting here. But not me. Come on now. My script's the face of the jaws must be a little crooked. Didn't want to grip on one side. Yeah, it's kind of slid out already on me. Pack it back with my finger here. Hopefully the weight of that will hold it. And then I just have a butane torch here. And I'm just going to flame it a little bit. Hopefully that'll... Oh! I was just going to say, hopefully that'll help it from springing, and then the vice grips let loose and broke. Oh, well, that's our first try. So now I'll snip off the end where it's poked through. Looks like a rat's nest on the end of it. Grab a hold of that and snip it off. Like that. Wow. That hurt. 11 thousandths wire goes right into your finger when you push on the end of it. Tried to push it out of the hole. Not very smart. Oh well. Yeah, that wasn't a very good try there. You know what? I need to turn that end all the way down too, though. Otherwise, how do I get it over top of that? That's way bigger diameter than what I want. Doesn't look too bad if I clip off the excess. Let's see if I can get in there and clips. I think the torch was going to work. It's just that the vice grips let loose on me. But I think that's a little bit big on. I'll be a little bit big on the head. Let me get there. Here's the cylinder head. Oh, actually not. Actually not. I think it's going to be that diameter. I actually needed a little bit bigger, so I could have let it spring back a little bit. Well, let's try doing one without the torch at all, and we'll see what we get. I think before I do that, though, I'm going to turn that back here, because otherwise I'm going to have a hard time getting that off. You know, getting it over top of that. Although it should spring back far enough to go across that. Let's just try it. Let's just try it. Get the hole lined up. Get a piece of wire. Get another piece of wire here. My finger hurts where I poked it. That's the worst part of when I go to my blood drives. I go to blood drives all the time now. For a while there, when I was on this medicine that I'm on for my trigeminal, they had told me that they wouldn't take me. Well, now they've changed it and said, yeah, we can. So, because I donate blood on a regular basis, always have. And I always say that's the hardest part of the blood drive is the finger poke. Alright, let's get the hole. I'm just going to bend, I just bend that part that I poked through and then grab the pliers. It's kind of hard for you guys to see any of this because it's just, can't pull on it until it gets a couple wraps, dummy. Yeah, big dummy. Right. Don't pull on it right away. Got to get a couple wraps on it first. Now I can put pressure on it, and then when it enters the grooves, come out the other side, I want a couple of laps there. Okay. Now see, my thought was, if I torch that, then the diameter, you get less spring spring back that way. All right, so I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to back this out. I'm going to take it off and see what it looks like. Clean it up and cut off the excess, and we'll see what we get. Come on, I'm going to turn it a little bit. There we go. I'm not going to try pushing it through with my finger again. Oh, I heard a camera shut off. I don't know which one, or both. This one shut off. Batteries probably. That's the bad thing about these cameras. They work all right, but the battery's life in them is not the greatest. Where the Canon, the battery life was excellent on that. Usually, come on, what is holding up here? There we go. Get it to, see, that's what I mean, is getting it over this spud on the end is causing me a little bit of a headache. So I may cut that off. All right. So let's clean it up. Let's see, we take about a half a loop off of here. Get the clip. I wonder if my fingernail clippers would clip this. Here. And clean up the other end. That's got about, I don't know how many extra wraps. I almost need to sit down at the bench to do this. Oh, just went zinging. Good luck at finding that. I don't know where that went flying to, but it went flying. Well, 2 tries, no springs. Not a good ratio yet. I thought this one was going to be a good one, because it looked about right. Never heard it dink on anything. And well, I'm going to end up cutting away here because the battery's going to go dead on this camera also. And get down on my hands and knees and crawl around and look, see if I can find it. So I'll be back when I get one made. Yeah, see, the battery is about ready to go kaput. So I'll be back. Silly me, I forgot to start the camera. What I did was it was an old spring that I save all the old springs that I find, little ones. This was 20 thou material. And I went ahead and I wound it for the cam follower spring. So now I got to take and clip off the little tab that I poked through. See if I can find where I want to cut it off at. Yeah, where did I leave my clippers? Using the same mandrel as I did for the valve, and I still have 2 valve springs. I got the intake valve springs wound, but I haven't got the exhaust wound yet. And I'm thinking that I might use this material. Ow. Ow. That one hurt. I got a good poke on that one. I feel like I almost should be wearing leather gloves to do this, but there's no way that I'll be able to clip that off so it don't poke me again. Let's see if I can turn it and pull that out. This whole idea works pretty good for holding it in place, but it's a bitch to clip it off and get it back out of there. There we go. I think I got it. Wow. Thought I had a hold of it. Bump the camera. I don't want to clip too much of it off. I wanted to keep some of those rings. There we go. Got it. All buggered. Alright, now I should be able to turn it over past it all and come on. Definitely doesn't want to slide off. This material didn't expand too much at all. Still say I should turn that end piece down. Yep, I'm going to do it now. I'll push that spring back on. I'm going to turn this end piece down because it's fighting me badly on this spring, and it's fought me on the other springs also. Let's see if I can cut this end of it off so I can get this out of here. There we go. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the center in. I'm going to get a tool bit and turn that down. Let's see. I wonder if I can do that with my part-off blade, because I ain't going to be able to get in there with... I'm not going to be able to get in there with this. I do have some tool bits that are made for that. It's round up for getting up close to the center. If I can find one. So here I think might get in there. Oh, I think I'm going to just try the part-off blade here. I know you're not supposed to do this, but I might not be able to do that either. No, can't without pulling it way out, and I'm not going to do that. Well, I want an old grooving tool. Yeah, that should work. Just stick in a holder and give it a shot. You got to poke it way out. There we go. Now let's try it. Yeah, that should work. That should work. Let's see. I want to kick it up to 600. You'd think I'd have all these memorized by now. Get that chunk of crap off of there so I can see what I'm doing. Well, it isn't exactly all the way, but it should help a bunch to get springs off now. There we go. Kind of a long spring. Well, we'll see if it works anyway. Now, I want to wind some exhaust springs. And they are made with 14 thou. Wow. And I believe that's what this is. Looking for my calipers. I got it. Well, really? Oh, laying on top of the computer over here. And this material is, yep, 14 thou. So, let's see if we can do something with this. If I can find the end to unwind it. There you go. Right. And stick it through the hole. Oh, and I slowed my RPM down too. I don't think I want to try to wind the spring at 600 RPM. So I want to go back to B1. There we go. Now let's turn this. And grab it with the pliers. Okay. Went fairly well. We'll cut this off. And try to cut this off. We'll cut the poker off first. And then enough pokes. Right there. There you go. Oh yeah. It makes it so much easier to slide off. Why didn't I do that right away? Alright. So there it is. I'll clean it up. I'll, cut that. A couple of those rings off. And put in place. Let's go over and do that. Over the surface bar plate. The surface plate that's loaded up with stuff. I got lots of springs here. Even my high stand over here. Put you on that. I'm just taking mount you on that. So I got on a magnetic base. All right. So here's the intake in here. So let's do the exhaust. Oh, I need to get the clippers and clip one little tiny tab off of that yet. Kind of clean it up a little bit. Yeah, right here. There we go. Oh, that's pretty good. Slide down over that. And something to push it down over that.